Hello and welcome back to another breaking news update. My name is Jimmy Boyd and you are watching Boyd News. I want to thank you so much for tuning in today. I've got some major breaking news coming out here for you. So I want to bring you an update regarding Israel and the Gaza Strip. So the IDF apparently is withdrawing majority of their troops from southern Gaza right now. Why are they doing that? Okay, so many people are trying to figure out why this might be. Many military war analysts in the United States are still unsure what this reason may be that they're withdrawing their troops, but we do know several things here. We do know that Israel could potentially come under attack here from much greater forces than just Hamas. Okay, Hamas has a few battalions left in southern Gaza around the Rafah area, and it looks like the IDF has left around a couple thousand troops still in southern Gaza. They left like one brigade apparently, but majority of them they have withdrawn from southern Gaza, and this doesn't make any sense because I thought Netanyahu said that they were going to go into Rafah no matter what, whether the whole world turned against them or if the U.S. didn't stand with them, they were going to go into Rafah anyway. Well, we just had word the other day that Biden was giving him an ultimatum and saying, hey, you need to do a better job of protecting these civilians down here. So if you continue to kill a bunch of innocent civilians, we will no longer support your operation. And this would be huge to Israel because they'd be isolated. And they're also going to be coming under attack here, most likely from Iran pretty soon. So this would be really bad for Israel. Would the U.S. actually leave them high and dry? I don't think so. But Biden did give him a major ultimatum just about a day or two ago. So, still trying to figure out why the IDF is withdrawing, but I think majority of this order here to withdraw troops is because of this potential attack from Iran. I think the IDF is realizing that they have much bigger fish to go after than just Hamas at the moment, and now we have potentially Iran and Hezbollah and multiple other groups in the Middle East that could start targeting and attacking Israel. Who knows? Maybe all at once. Or this could turn into daily attacks on Israel, and they could have much bigger problems than just Hamas launching some, $500 rockets at them. So I've got some information to go over here. We've got an article right here that we're going to be talking about on NBC News, and I'll also have a few things I want to discuss with you from some X posts, okay, from Twitter. So let's go over this here. Israeli military pulls troops from southern Gaza. It was not clear if the move signaled a turning point in Israel's military strategy, but one analyst said it could mean that the Gaza war is entering a new phase, one that will still last long but maybe of lesser intensity. So it goes on to say here, the Israeli military says it's reduced the number of ground troops in southern Gaza Strip following the conclusion of its months-long operation in the city of Khan Yunis, raising questions about the future of its offensive in the enclave amid pressure from the U.S. to reduce the war's humanitarian toll. So like I said, that's from Biden's ultimatum. In a statement on Sunday, the IDF said it was pulling its 98th Commando Division to recuperate and prepare for future operations. So that could mean a lot of different things. Okay, but let's give some information about what the IDF said recently in the last week. Defense Minister Yoav Gallant said that the IDF is at war with multiple groups here, multiple nations and countries. That includes Iran and all their proxies throughout the Middle East. So we do know as well they're expanding their operations on Hezbollah. And Hezbollah is a much greater fighting force than Hamas is. And they've got much greater capabilities compared to Hamas as well. So like I said, I think in my view here, the IDF is preparing for much bigger battles than just Gaza alone, okay? So the Nahal Brigade and the 162nd Division remain in Gaza, which the IDF describes as a significant force that will continue to operate in the Gaza Strip and will preserve the IDF's freedom of action and its ability to conduct precise intelligence-based operations. An Israeli brigade is typically made up of a few thousand troops. On Saturday, 4 Israeli soldiers were killed in Khan Yunis. It was not clear from the IDF statement if the withdrawal constituted a planned rotation of the troops or signaled a turning point in Israel's strategy for its military offensive in Gaza. In response to a clarification request from NBC News, the IDF said it can't comment on the deployment of its forces for security reasons, Michael Horowitz, the head of intelligence at Lebec International, a security and risk management consultancy, said, I think this is a turning point in the campaign in Gaza. The IDF contingent in Gaza will be the lowest since the ground invasion started in late October last year, made of only 2 brigades along an axis that cuts Gaza into two, Horowitz said. Essentially, this means the IDF is probably moving to a more long-term counterterrorism campaign of more targeted raids. This is something the U.S. has been asking for months. The move also does not appear to be simple troop rotation, Horowitz said, as no troops are entering southern Gaza to replace the forces being pulled out. That's kind of how I'm seeing this too. Is again, if we just had Netanyahu, I'm going to show you a video in just a minute, but Benjamin Netanyahu, the Prime Minister of Israel, just came out, I want to say it was yesterday or the day before, during a meeting and saying we are one step away from victory in the Gaza Strip and eliminating Hamas. Why would they pull out all their troops if that was the case? Do they think that maybe they don't need as many troops down there as they thought they did? Or is this because Israel is trying to call back their troops to protect the country because they're about to come under a massive attack from Iran and their proxies? Operations in Khan Yunis also appear to have been completed, and there is no logic in replacing troops in southern Gaza unless Israel launches a new offensive against Rafah, for instance. He said, adding that Israel has been waiving the threat of such an offensive, but has encountered a lot of pushback. The Gaza war is entering a new phase, one that will still last long, but may be of lesser intensity, he added. National Security Council John Kirby said Sunday, it's hard to know exactly what the troop reduction tells us. So even the U.S. is still confused, apparently, according to this information, what their reasoning is here for reducing their troop size. It is really just about rest and refit for these troops that have been on the ground for 4 months, and not necessarily that we can tell indicative of some coming new operation for these troops, Kirby said, on ABC this week. So, this is very interesting information. The fact that they're withdrawing these troops, especially when we know that Israel was going to be going into Rafah at some point. Okay, they kept saying the entire defense ministry of Israel was repeatedly saying that, hey, this is only going to be a short delay. We're not going to be waiting forever. There's a reason why we're delaying this operation in Rafah, but we are going to go in. No one's going to stop us. Just very interesting that that they're doing this at this time. But if most of us were probably going to speculate here, I would say the most likely reason for them to be withdrawing their troops from southern Gaza would be to prepare to defend the country for a much greater attack. Something much worse than just Hamas. That's what I'm thinking. Okay, so I want to go over a couple X-posts here for you now. Just give you a little bit of information on things that have been surfacing on social media that I've been hearing quite a bit about. So this is from Jackson Hinkle. Just in, UK's Rishi Sunak has informed Netanyahu that the UK is considering declaring that Israel has been violating international law. So I've been hearing a lot about this. And I believe we just had Rishi Sunak, the prime minister here on the right side of this picture. He was coming out and basically condemning Israel on their offensive in Gaza, that it's killing too many people. This humanitarian disaster needs to end. Just lots of talk and rhetoric like that. So again, the entire support team here from the Western Alliance is really pushing back against Israel right now. And again, it's very strange what we're seeing here going on. And with this whole troop withdrawal, and maybe there's a lot of things tied in here. Maybe Netanyahu is starting to realize that maybe they can't go into Rafah, and they're just going to lose a lot of support here. And also, the UK supports them with lots of weaponry, okay? And there's been a lot of pushback on Rishi Sunak and saying, hey, we need to stop. Multiple parliament members, have been pushing back on Rishi Sunak and saying we need to stop funding this war, stop giving weapons put a weapons embargo on Israel and stop giving them weapons to fight this war because there's so many innocent people being killed, which is just crazy because this has been going on for 6 months now. And people are just starting to realize that there's lots of people being killed, which there already was from the very beginning. So we'll go over this next post here. This is from Tui. We are a step away from victory. Netanyahu is ready to send troops into Rafah to commit the bloodiest of all massacres. Over 1 million Palestinians kettled in with no means of escape. This is his final solution. So here's kind of Netanyahu again reiterating. This was just like a day ago, I believe. Him coming out and saying that they're one step away from victory in the Gaza Strip, and they're gonna basically go in and finish this thing off. So let's just take a look at this real quick too.
Of war. The achievements of the war are great. We eliminated 19 out of 24 Hamas battalions, including senior commanders. We killed, wounded or captured a significant number of Hamas terrorists. We cleared Shifa as well as many other terrorist headquarters. We destroyed rocket manufacturing plants, war rooms, weapons and ammunition holds, and we continue to systematically destroy the underground tunnels. We are a step away from victory. I made it clear to the international community there will be no ceasefire without the return of hostages. It just won't happen. This is the policy of the Israeli government, and I welcome the fact that the Biden administration made it clear the other day that this is still its position as well.
Okay, so I do want to comment here on what they're talking about. So Netanyahu's position is, we will not back off from the Gaza Strip. We will eliminate Hamas, and there will be no ceasefire until all hostages are released. Well, Hamas has continuously declined any position in terms of returning these hostages without the IDF withdrawing from the Gaza Strip. So it's basically it's a stalled out, a stalled out negotiation here, and they're not going to be able to come to an agreement whenever things are like this. So one side is saying we want our hostages, the other side is saying, well, we want you to withdraw from the Gaza Strip, so we're not going to give you the hostages. So either way, Israel has to go into Rafah to eliminate Hamas in order to get their hostages back. So I just wanted to share this with you and show you his stance, that supposedly that's still where Netanyahu stands, even though they're withdrawing these troops, which is very interesting again. So let's go over this also. So this is from Paul Media. Blistering attack by Simon Harris. He's a politician from the Irish government. Prime Minister Netanyahu, the Irish people could not be clearer. We are repulsed by your actions. So let's take a look at what he has to say here as well. Very interesting. Go ahead and take a look.
Prime Minister Netanyahu, let me say this to you this evening. The Irish people could not be clearer. We are repulsed by your actions. Ceasefire now and let the aid flow safely. My friends, we need a two-state solution, with Israel and Palestine living side by side in peace and security. And tonight from Galway, I reiterate that Ireland stands ready to recognise the state of Palestine. Prime Minister Netanyahu, let me say this to you this evening.
Okay, so as you can see here, this Irish politician, he clearly stands with, he wants a ceasefire in the Gaza Strip. He wants the IDF to withdraw and allow a two-state solution where Palestine and Israel live side by side. As he said, they're in peace and security. So again, this is just more proof that the West is really pushing back right now, especially right now in the last week, I want to say. Major pushback from the West, and this is going to put a halt to the Rafah invasion, and maybe completely. Okay, and obviously Netanyahu is very hell-bent on wanting to destroy Hamas and remove them from the Gaza Strip, but it looks like he may not be able to do this unless he's willing to withdraw his support that he gets from the West here, which could be really huge to Israel and push them into isolation. And I don't think Israel wants that. So finally, one last thing here from The Voice, We the Kingdom. So huge protests in Tel Aviv calling for immediate resignation of Netanyahu and early elections. So this is another big thing that's been going on here, is lots of protests lately. So I wanted to show you this too, because this shows, again, more pushback from even inside of the country. People are apparently calling for his resignation. But it's interesting too, because I just saw videos recently saying, it was Netanyahu saying that majority of the people in Israel are for this invasion of Gaza. They're for the invasion of Rafah. You know, they want us to eliminate Hamas, things like that. That type of rhetoric is what he was talking about recently in a video. So let's take a look at this as well to see these protests.
את מה שעובר עלינו. אזרחים יקרים, אני מבקש, ברשותכם, קצת שקט, קצת רגע שקט.
So yeah, take a look at that. I mean, what we're seeing here, much more than what's just being put in mainstream news, you know, Western media, is we're seeing a pushback here on Israel, mainly on Netanyahu and the government of Israel on this war in Gaza. And could this be the reason why they're withdrawing? Are they planning to not go into Rafah, or are they going into Rafah? Or is this because of this potential attack from Iran coming pretty soon? I don't know. Let me know what you think down below. But I wanted to share all this data with you and this information because this is again a very interesting thing what we're seeing here happen with Israel withdrawing their troops from southern Gaza. It just doesn't add up. And the only conclusion that I can come to is that maybe they're trying to prepare for a potential attack from Iran. But let me know what you think down below. That's going to be it for this update. I'm sure we're going to have more information coming out from Israel here in the next few hours or maybe 24 hours. Lots of information is going to be coming out, especially if they get attacked by Iran. So comment below your thoughts and opinions. If you got something out of this update, please smash that like button. And also, if you enjoy my content, please consider subscribing down below and hit the notification bell. That way YouTube can notify you. And with that, I hope you all have a great day. Everybody take care and God bless. We'll see you in the next one.